Hey everybody, Raul here for Bass Musician Magazine, and today we have the great honor and pleasure of chatting with someone who I don't even need to introduce, but I will anyway, Mr. Nathan East.
Hey, Raul. That's too funny. He needs no introduction.
He needs no introduction. We've seen him everywhere. Anyway, not only is Nathan massively busy in almost everything you ever see, but he's taken some time today to talk to us about a subject that is near and dear to the heart of every bassist, and that is his instrument, or in this case, his signature Yamaha BBNE2. It is what gives the performer his voice. It is what allows one to express oneself. But I wanted to take a step back. This Yamaha bass, Nathan, you've been with Yamaha for decades. I mean, it's not even a short period. How did all of this get started?
Well, it's coming up on 4. First of all, I wanted to say thanks for just putting all of your attention on the bass, which it's all about the bass, as we know. But I want to thank you guys, because for me, when I was 14 years old, I discovered the bass, and I couldn't get enough of reading magazines and just really diving into this cool instrument, And here, a few years later, it's still a big, massive part of my life. And so thank you guys for what you do to shed a really good light. Yamaha, early 80s, I saw Abraham Laboriel, who's a mentor and one of my favorite players, playing a Yamaha bass, and I happened to be in the studio listening to him record, and obviously it's his fingers, but I couldn't believe the sound, the way this instrument just was so much a part of the space and in the mix. He put it in my hands, and it was Yamaha bass. I think it was a BB1000 back. We're talking, 1980. So I had a trip to Japan scheduled with Lee Ritenour, and he introduced me to Hagi, who was the Yamaha A&R guy, for everybody, in drums and bass and guitar. And he put my first Yamaha bass in my hands, and I'll never forget. I just said, this has to go home with me, And ever since then, we've been collaborating, and they've been making me instruments. And soon after, we started working on developing my signature bass. And they've been so great about just developing instruments with me. So it's been going on for quite a while now.
It's obvious that you've had a lot of experience. I keep seeing all those basses behind you, but you have experience with other instruments. So when it comes to developing a signature bass, you've kind of maybe garnished pearls from different instruments and going, hey, I like this about this, but I like this about this other thing. Tell us a little bit about the features of your signature instrument.
Well, absolutely. It's like you can go test drive different cars. You can go to the Mercedes lots, the Porsche lot, the Audi, the BMW, and every one of them is going to give you an ooh-ah kind of ride,
Yeah.
Much like that in the world of basses, and all you have to do is go to a NAMM show or any situation where they're readily available to play. Then, you get an idea of all the qualities that you like in the bass. I mean, my very first bass was a Fender Jazz bass that my mom bought me in New York at Manny's, on 48th Street many years ago. And I'll never forget opening the case and seeing that big F plate over the strings and the smell, the aroma. It was intoxicating of the, having the Fender bass be my first kind of real entree into the real bass world. I was able to get an idea of the standard, but then, trying different pickups and finally arriving at Yamaha with a sound that I really liked, and then going by the R&D and developing this bass with them many days, trying pickups and string spacing and different woods and the fingerboard, and we finally came up with something that we're both really happy with.
Tell us a little bit about some of those details. It's got special humbuckers on the pickups.
So special Yamaha humbucker pickups. What we did is we wound the low B a little tighter so we could get the nice clear sound on the low string. And then we put my NE1 parametric equalizer, we actually put that in the bass. So nice. The bass takes a 9-volt battery, and we have an EQ inside that gives me that sound, especially in the studio, that very hi-fi sound that I can only get here.
I noticed that the bridge, each string is separately attached.
This particular one has the Goto individual bridges, and we also experimented with different styles of bridges until we came up with one that we thought was really universally acceptable and really good for what I needed to do.
That cutaway tells me you've got, what, a couple of octaves reach?
Couple of octaves reach, so I got the low, medium, and high G, But to have 2 octaves is actually perfect for what I need to do as well.
With the combination of woods, how is it on weight?
So on weight, it's actually a really good weight. We've arrived at ebony fingerboard and just a combination of woods that have been glued together and stacked for the actual bass, but not too heavy, so that as I'm carrying it around the world on my shoulders from airport to airport, I don't get to, I don't have to go to the chiropractor too often.
Controversial as it many times can be, you've got 5 strings instead of 4.
Right. Well, the range of the bass, I found that when I had the 4-string, I was just tuning down to low E flat, D, maybe even D flat. So pretty soon it's like, wow, I'm tuned down. I might as well just have a string that goes down to. I think you even notice on a lot of the acoustic basses, the uprights, they either have the low extension or a 5th string. So I think we realized that the range of the normal 4-string, as amazing as it's been, it's nice to have the extra range of the 5.
Well, and a lot of the musicians I'm talking to, especially ones that are doing like Broadway shows and things, the book is written for 5. So
really? Wow.
They don't have a choice. They need to show up with that low B.
Yeah. No, I think, as far as pop music today and modern music, lots of low E flats and Ds, and so, and even low Bs. The song that we recorded with Daft Punk, Get Lucky, is in the key of B, so I'm using that low B a lot on that song.
I was going to ask anything special about the tuners, because that's the part I don't see on the screen.
Oh, yeah, so the tuners, on this particular one, we did the sort of the white pearl. They're engineered, just the fine Yamaha craftsmanship that we've grown accustomed to over almost 4 decades, so just really smooth but solid. The bass stays in perfect tunes. A lot of times I'll take it right out of the gig bag and it'll be in perfect tune.
I know there's an evolutionary process when it comes to instruments. Now that obviously you've been playing this signature bass for quite some time, have you had any ideas of any tweaks that there might be for, I don't know, a BBNE2?
Well, I'm working now on another project for a bass that's actually lighter. We're calling it the silent bass 5-string. I just finished visiting the shop the other day. It's really cool, and we're actually experimenting with headless just to take a little bit of the weight there, and just trying to see if we can get a lighter bass that I can really travel with. So I do so much extensive traveling, and I always have an instrument with me over my shoulder. So it does get, especially the 5 and 6 strings do get heavy after a while. So we're working on an instrument now that hopefully will be out in the new year, and going to see if that's going to be something that I'll be carrying around with me now.
Oh, very cool. Well, hopefully they'll have it at the Winter NAMM show. I want to get a peek at that.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure it will be there.
Very nice, very nice. And for folks, if they want to have more information, of course, about the Yamaha bass, Yamaha.com, easy place to go. Also, equally important, if they want to know what you're up to, because, again, you are always so busy, NathanEast.com, best place to look?
Yeah, absolutely. My website usually has our tour schedule updated and all the activities that we're involved with, so that's a good place to look.
Very cool. Well, Nathan, we appreciate you taking time out of such a busy schedule to share this insight into your signature BBNE2 Yamaha bass. Folks, you've seen him here, exclusively coming to you on Bass Musician Magazine.
Fantastic. Thanks, everybody, and see you out there.